what's up, everybody? Welcome out to the show. This is our 6 o'clock live stream. As you can see, Justin was already asking me what he shouldn't do. You just move your microphone, put it where you got to put it, and leave it alone. There you go. All right.
I got yelled at.
Yeah, I had to go buy a brand new goddamn mic cable today. And they ain't cheap, man. I don't know what the hell happened, dude, but they used to be cheap. How's everybody doing tonight? We got a cool show lined up for you all. We have a couple discussions, some celebrations, and should be a good show. I think that what interested me in doing the subject tonight about the saturation was a reel that Joe Capabianca had the other day where he kind of went off. And he was not real happy, which, you know, understandable. But to be fair, this is the first time I've ever seen mainstream media do an article about tattoo from a business perspective. Other than, you know, obviously the articles that were written back in the day when they talked about, banning tattooing. Obviously that affected business. But from this perspective, this is something completely different, and they kind of bring up a couple points that you and I talked about on a couple of occasions here on this show. So it should be interesting. You know, hope everybody had a safe, healthy week. We got a bunch of people already in, which is amazing. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Some people we haven't seen in a while, which is cool, man. What's up, Tom? I haven't seen you in a bit. Hope all is well. We'll say hello to everybody in a bit, and, you know, we'll go through all that.
So one of the first times that I heard about this was there was a tattooer named Scott Harrison.
Okay.
He was a pretty well-regarded tattooer. He tattooed at New York Adorned. He actually worked at NYU as an art professor as well.
Okay.
And was, you know, hung around with Hardy and Corbin and Eddie Duche. I mean, had a really good pedigree coming up. And at one point he moved to Oregon, and he began to post about how funny it was that outside of the world of tattooers,
right,
he was just the old guy in the back of the shop that nobody really, I mean, it's not that they didn't want to get tattooed by him.
Right.
But nobody really, you know, they didn't know.
Yeah, no, I got
They didn't know that this dude was like a prolific artist, super respected guy.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you know, I'm not going to play the Joe Capabianco reel just because of copyright and stuff like that. Plus, he's dropping F-bombs pretty good on there, and I don't need to get the strike. I think that if you're interested in this topic, though, I highly suggest you go to his Instagram page and check it out. And I give him mad props for putting it out there.
All right, so here's like an interesting question that we could ask and see if people want to answer in chat.
Yeah, sure.
Like, if you're over 40, how many people that you started getting tattooed with are still getting tattooed? Like your little gang of guys that, you know, you started getting work done with. If you're still interested, which is obvious that you're here with us, but
right, you're still interested in tattooing.
How many of your friends that maybe were interested in tattooing 5 years ago, 10 years ago, have like completely moved on?
Okay. Yeah, and look, that was one of the main points that I took away from the Joe Capabianco reel, was that, you know, younger people are the ones that are getting tattooed, and they want to get tattooed by the younger guy. There is not this, you know, thing where they're seeking out older guys that are tattooing anymore. You know, is that legit? It could be.
So I give an example of that, right?
Okay.
There's a local tattoo shop called Through Being Cool Tattoo.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see anything bad coming out of there. They do good work.
Right.
Right? But my friend Katie, who's like 15 years younger than me, was like, oh, yeah, that's a Fall Out Boy lyric.
Yeah.
It's a Fall Out Boy song or something.
Okay.
So I had no frame of reference. Through Being Cool, I thought that was like Devo. Am I being too loud?
No, you got to make sure you're talking into the mic, though. Every time you turn your head away, you drift off. Yeah, well, that's a good example. I mean, so that's a they obviously used the song to attract.
Yeah, they were all younger guys.
I mean, I have to be honest with you. When I saw the emblem on the store, that's not what I thought. But we won't get into that. Um, anyhow,
Wasn't there a new wave song called "Through Being Cool"? We're through being. It was Devo, right?
I don't.
We're through being cool.
It doesn't sound familiar to me, but it could be the way you're singing it. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie. Um, anyway,
bet you fat cracker knows.
he probably does. So let's go ahead and pull this up, and then we'll get into some other stuff that we're going to talk about today. And let's go to.
You know, Joe's hair is magnificent too.
It is fantastic.
Still.
So this is from the CBC, which I think is the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. And it was posted on MSN, which is not my go-to for news, but, you know, sometimes you got to search when you're looking for stuff.
Really?
When Hans,
Who is?
whatever D, isn't tattooing clients in his studio twice a week, he's been painting to help scratch his creative itch and pay bills while he's dealing with other major slump in clients. This wasn't always the way in Montreal, who's been tattooing professionally for over a decade. I used to do 6 days a week of tattooing. But if I relied on that and waited for customers, I would have depression. So obviously we're not from Montreal, but apparently it sounds to me like they're having a major slowdown as well.
You ever been?
I have not been to Montreal. I did want to pull this doc up real quick.
Fun fact: where I grew up in New York State was closer to Montreal than to New York City.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. I know that in Montreal, the
First city I ever
language-
saw guar in.
language of choice is French.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. There's a lot of places. Well, Sarah's in here. She'll know. Let us know, Sarah.
I thought Quebec and Ottawa it was more French than.
Sarah just said Montreal is a very fun place. So
Did I just show my Americanism? Did I just say something really dumb?
possible.
Did I just swum in my my lack of knowledge? Swim?
So Sarah, let us know. Is it majority French speaking in Montreal? Montreal was once a prime destination for tattoos, is facing an oversaturated market, too many artists, and not enough clients. Longtime professionals are leaving the industry, finding it no longer financially sustainable. They are actually in this article talking about the post-pandemic boom turned bust. So that is something that Justin and I have talked about. But in here they're saying after COVID lockdowns, many new artists entered the field, inspired during time off to pursue tattooing full time. The initial demand surge has since faded, and cost of living pressures are steering people away from the luxury purchases of tattoos. Now, that's something that we've definitely talked about, where tattoos are not you don't need them. They're something that's extra cash if you know.
So I was getting tattooed down in Philly.
Montreal is in Quebec, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
And French is the official language of all Quebec.
Wow, American.
Montreal has a lot of English speakers, but it's still majority French.
So I was down in Philly. I was getting tattooed by a tattooer I respect. And he was leaving the shop that he'd been in for years and years and going to a new shop up in Fishtown. And he was talking to a guy that worked with him in the shop he was leaving, who'd been there for about 10 years. The guy tattooing me had been there probably for 30.
Okay.
And oddly enough, the guys that brought him into that shop were pissed that he was leaving after 30 years.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Like it wasn't enough?
Because they were super old school guys.
Yeah.
You can probably imagine who I'm talking about. So they get into this conversation about why do you tattoo? Why did you get into tattooing? And so I spoke up and I was like, because of the freedom. Because I want to do what I want to do. And I want to live how I want to live. And these two guys looked at me. This was it's kind of a heartbreaking moment because I respected this tattooer, this guy that was tattooing me. And they were like, because of the money. We got into tattooing because of the money.
Okay.
And I was like, wow. Not that I'm like some big art. I mean, I like making a living.
Right, right.
But really,
that you loved it for the art of it.
And for the lifestyle, I can say what I want, I can do what I want. There's no HR
right
breathing down my neck. There's no boss.
So in this article, though, it mentions something else, and I wanted to run this past you. I tried to basically do bullet points from the article so we don't have to sit here and read the whole thing because that would be boring. People are already dropping off as we speak. So
is the money, is that a reasonable for something like tattooing?
I think that a majority of the people that are coming into the business now, I think if you ask them, they would say that money was the reason.
That sucks.
I mean, look, dude, you've said it yourself, dude. You could essentially be a graphic artist and make more money. Now, you're going to have to do 9-to-5 job, and you're going to have to probably wear, like, a suit and tie and, deal with HR and,
the corporate environment.
Yeah. But the money would probably be, if you're just, how do I put this? If you're just like an average Joe tattooer right now, I'm not talking about you because I'm not trying to put you out on Front Street, but I'm saying like the average guy, man, maybe $100,000 a year.
The average tattooer?
Yeah. What do you think? 75?
I think a little lower than that.
Okay. Anyway, you could get a job doing graphic arts for a major marketing company, pulling 100, no problem. Full benefits, retirement. So
if we'll say that your average tattooer in a street shop now, bringing home $800 to $1,000 a week, maybe $800 to $1,000, because they're sharing their money with the house.
Okay. Now, what about the, not street shop guys, the guys that are doing appointment only custom stuff?
Yeah, they're making money.
Right. What do you think they're pulling? 100,000 plus?
Yeah. I mean, are you talking about a guy that's got more than a 6-month waiting list, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going out of average at that point. I don't know, man. Look, there's obviously people out there that are charging crazy amounts of money for tattoos, and people are coming in to paying for them, so they're getting it. There's no beating around the bush, dude. So potentially those people could be making 100, 200,000 a year, no problem. But the thing is, if you're just an average Joe dude going into graphic arts, you could potentially make more money, plus have benefits, plus have a 401k, plus have paid time off, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Now, here's one thing that I didn't take into consideration, and it's worth bringing up because it's something you deal with on a regular basis. They're saying that tattoo supplies have doubled in cost. Gloves went from $7 pre-pandemic to around $12 now. Montreal rents surged 71%, which you wouldn't know about, but since 2019, squeezing studio budgets and artist income. Now, you don't have to deal with rent raises or whatever. You do.
I do.
Right, but not like that. That's
yeah.
crazy. But have you noticed the prices of gloves and...
So any PPE during the pandemic?
Obviously skyrocketed.
Yeah, so a box of gloves during the pandemic was between $20 and $25.
Okay, so pre-pandemic, what was it?
So I get really good gloves.
Yeah, you got those nice black ones.
Yeah, I was paying probably pre-pandemic $9,
Okay.
$9 to $11 a box, and now I think I'm paying 17, 16, something like that.
So almost double.
Yeah.
Now, what about the cost of ink, needles, stuff like that? Has that went up?
So a decent box of neat. So for me, it stayed pretty consistent. But I buy my needles from a place where people can't buy their needles from, unless they're vetted.
Right.
So those needles have been pretty consistent.
Okay.
But they were a little high to begin with. Like if you wanted to get yellow box needles, which were I haven't used yellow box needles for so long I couldn't even say.
Okay. So, Stephen Street just said money equals freedom. That's a good way of looking at it as well. Drag said, I do it for the art of it. Nice side effect is that it makes money.
Yeah.
And then Drag also said, since the reach was in Europe, it's 4 times more for ink. Supplies 2 times more.
That's coming.
Okay, so them saying this in this article is factual then.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Everybody buy needle jigs.
now at that point though, so now you're talking about cutting into your budget. Right? So even if you're like you own the shop and you're taking a 30% cut, right? That's taken out of your pocket because you're the one supplying gloves and paper towels and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So even as far as the shop owner, where, I know there's this thing going on right now between tattoo artists and shop owners and stuff like that. Well, that's something else that's going to you'd have to take into consideration is that, I think you and I both agree that if the shop's only taking a 30%, that's a pretty sweet deal. Back in the day, that was almost unheard of. The only one that was getting that kind of cut was like Zeke Owens.
Yeah, I mean, so when I started an apprentice, when an apprentice ended his apprenticeship and started tattooing, he was making 30%.
Okay.
So that's what.
And then as you progressed or whatever,
Then it became like 50-50.
Okay.
In some places it was 60-40, but you would have to tip out like the shop girl at 10%, so it was really 50-50.
Okay.
But the thing, who was it? Was it I Hate Steven, what's his name?
Street.
I Hate
Sweet.
Steven Street.
Sweet. Jason Sweet.
That was talking about the autoclave. The autoclave was the difference.
Okay.
So you have to realize that before all this prepackaged tattoo stuff, if you were working out of your house, you were using dirty equipment more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you definitely weren't using an autoclave.
Right.
I mean,
who in their right mind would have had money for that?
Yeah, I mean, there were exceptions, obviously. There were.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you were tattooing off your kitchen table, what were you cleaning your tubes with? Before plastic tubes, before fully disposable kits.
Right.
So that, plus you weren't before social media. I mean, if you didn't have the sign out that said tattoos, I mean, where were you getting your business from?
Right. Word
of mouth, maybe out like in the clubs or the bars or whatever. But the guy that was making the most money, like the reason the percentages were the way they were was because it was a real benefit to work in a shop back then.
Right. Well, the shops were essentially supplying clientele.
Right.
Which is an interesting segue because the next thing on the bullet point that I had was social media.
And bear in mind, every artist that's ever looked for a job with me has assured me they will bring their clientele to the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, while we're talking about it, before we shift to this new bullet point, please like and share this stream so this way it gets pushed out to some other people, and maybe we can have some more people join us. So social media, once a powerful marketing tool, has become harder to navigate. Algorithm changes mean artists must now invest in ads just to be seen. Researching tattoo artists have become passive. People are fed options instead of actively seeking them. So algorithm changes definitely impact, because you are talking about, um, you know, even let's just talk about Instagram, for instance. Wow, that almost sounded weird. Up until about 6 months ago, you would benefit off of playing reels. People were busting out reels, making ridiculous money off of Instagram. Instagram shifted. Instagram now has lowered the payouts for reels and now pays more money for the
Carousels.
posts. Yeah, carousels, pictures. Um, if you're not up on that stuff, you're not going to know that. You're going to continue to do what you did because you think that that's what's going to make you money, and you're going to be like, okay, cool.
So I remember when Facebook and Instagram were really just, you sort of, I first got that so that I could just not take, I didn't have to have an album anymore. It wasn't like a marketing tool. It was just, oh, you want to see my work? It's on Instagram.
Right.
You don't have to look through my pictures anymore.
So, yeah.
See, the thing a lot of people don't realize about this book is that tattooing will eat its young. Tattooing, in a sense, is merciless, right? Like, if an artist can't do good work, there's no mercy for that in the tattoo industry. If an artist is unwilling to post on social media, is unwilling to promote himself, there's no mercy for that. Because because there's another artist that could probably do it just as well, if not 1,000 other guys that can do it just as well.
Well, let's talk about the fact that, there's shops out there that stop putting up flash and stuff like that because of social media, because, they got to the point where every time somebody walked in the door, somebody was sticking a phone in their face and saying, hey, I want that. So there was no need to hang flash, which I'm thankful. Flash seems to be making a second round, back into shops.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I like that. I like walking in. I mean, I might not necessarily get something off the wall, but I like seeing it, especially when somebody has, like you have, or Ronnie Delacqua, when I went to his shop, he's got a bunch of like really cool vintage old flash.
Right.
That's really cool to see for me.
That was probably drawn by people that he knew. Like the majority of my flash was drawn by artists that I know. Or it's production flash that I've had that I decided in the 1990s that I liked, or the 2000s. You know what I mean? Like I could go through every piece of this flash and tell you like either where it's from or where I first saw it or what it means to me. This is, the aesthetic of the shop at this point is really, for me, like at one point I was going to take a picture of my flash wall and take out all the flash sheets and just put in like the Pinterest symbol. Like the Google image search symbol.
So Tom just said, as someone trying to get in, I had a serious think if I should keep at it or just not the right time. I decided to just keep getting tattooed and keep painting and see what happens, because that's what I really love.
So when people come in and they say, I want to be a tattooer, I'm really, really honest with them.
Okay.
And I say, if you're willing to work really, really, really hard all the time, maybe you can be a tattooer.
Tattooing will treat you right.
Because the environment now, imagine being a 20-year-old kid with an associate's art degree at this point and working with a pen that requires almost no technical knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, no kids to take care of, you know what I mean? Like,
see, that person right there can afford to bust his ass, not make that much money at the beginning, put in the extra hours.
Right.
But see, that's to me, I
That
feel like
person can
that's
be-
anything.
That person can just be ruthless.
That we can actually put that into perspective right now with well, I can, I'm saying, with YouTube, dude. I would love to be able to knock out 3-4 videos a week, and then a bunch of shorts in between. But the reality of it is, I have to work a day job. I have my family. I have, I'm trying to, have somewhat of a social life, and there's other stuff I want to watch. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm addicted to YouTube, different creators out there, but it would be much easier if I was 20-something-year-old kid that I didn't have a mortgage and car payments and bike payments and a house to feed and all that other stuff. But you know what, dude? I don't. So I just got to make do with what I got and do the best I can. Bill O'Connell, thank you so much
Thank you,
for
Bill.
the $5 super chat.
So
That wasn't a plea for money. I'm just saying. I can see what you're saying. Like, if you're a young kid and you want to get into this, it's probably a good time because you can afford to not have money and to spend a shitload of time doing this craft.
if you're really, really willing to work.
I actually just posted it yesterday. I think I might have posted it today too. It's a short of the interview I did with Dave Clemma. I reposted it on Instagram, and he was like, in order to do this, thank you, Sarah, for the $5 super
Thanks,
chat.
Sarah.
If you really want to do this, you have to. He's like, I work every day 9 to 5, and then I work and I tattoo after work until 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then I go home and I'm actually drawing till 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. He's like, draw, and then when you think you've drawn enough, draw some more. He's like, because in order to be successful in this, you have to work at it. This is not going to be something where it's like this thing that falls off the back of a truck and all of a sudden you pick it up and go, oh man, I'm going to be a rock star.
So I know a guy named Frank, and Frank was a television producer.
Okay.
And Frank won Emmys. He's a sports producer. He did work in the Atlanta Olympics.
Okay.
Like an Emmy-winning sports producer. He worked for NBC. And then, I think when he was in his 60s, they basically came in and they were like, listen, man, you're really good at what you do, but the truth of the matter is we can hire 2 guys out of college that know how to do what you do. That'll be those 2 guys will be half of what we're paying you as it is. Like he just,
man, it's
I guess every industry is like that at this point. It didn't matter. Like his Emmys, like I would think his Emmys would have mattered. Like I'm an Emmy awarded TV producer.
You would think though, man, but
Bottom line, man.
Odie, Baba's brother Odie, he's a Grammy award-winning DJ. He's got gold records. He doesn't own any gold records because he was like, dude, they give him to the artist and the producer for free, but anybody else, they had to pay for him, and he was like, I don't need to pay for it. I know I got it. But I'd be like, dude, that would be on my resume everywhere, dude. Like, I don't care. I mean, he's a phenomenal tattoo artist, don't get me wrong, but I would even put that shit underneath tattoo artist, Grammy Award. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I would be pumping out. Like, that would be my shit, man. Grammy Award-winning artist.
Do you want to know a fun fact about gold records?
Go ahead.
So when you see a musician that has gold records in his house, those aren't his records. They literally just take whatever records they have. They gold plate them, and that's what the gold record is.
Interesting. I wouldn't know. Fat Cracker said, step inside Spotlight Tattoo in Los Angeles and tell me you don't want the original Bob Roberts flash on the wall in the waiting room. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, stuff like that, to me, means something. But, Fat Cracker, now, you're older like me and Justin. Think of it in the perspective of what we're saying, where it's younger people that are getting tattooed right now. Figure Figure that the majority of people that are getting tattooed right now are between the ages of 18,
24.
I would say even 30.
Okay.
So we'll stretch it a little bit, right? So 18 to 30. Now those 18 to 30-year-olds, do they give a shit about history or some old school stuff? No, probably not. They're looking for whatever the hot new dude is on Instagram or chick, sorry. Or the hot new, person that just came off of Ink Master. So they could say, so it could be a clout thing.
I got a theory about that.
Chris Hawkins, $9.99 super chat.
Thanks,
Thank
Chris.
you, sir. Much appreciated.
So when we came up in tattooing, right? When you, me, Fat Crowd, all of us, right? All the people that are our age.
Mm-hmm.
If I disrespected an old head tattooer, right? Or was like, that shit sucks, man. It's like, now it's about blah, 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 blah. I would have gotten smacked.
Yeah. Can't do that now.
Right. And I think our generation, I think that our generation was one of the last generations that looked to the elders and was like, I want to be like that one day. Like, that dude's got salt. And you know what I mean? Like, when I grow up, I want to look like that.
Yeah,
I don't think kids think like that anymore.
Fat Cracker just said younger or older, those kids are getting tatted with the Flash, Bob Roberts Flash. So that's cool, man. I mean, hey, if that's what I think Spotlight
Is an exception.
Yeah, I would say like Mark Mahoney's shop, an exception. I'm trying to think of like any of the old school guys, like Freddie Corbin, Temple, exception. Man, I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but
Smith Street in Brooklyn. Right?
You're going there because Burt Crack
Works there.
is known for
Electric Tattoo in Asbury.
Yep, there you go.
Right.
So
But just your average person
he
walking.
said it is an exception.
Yeah. Your average person just walking into a street shop.
Doesn't know anything about any of that. They just go, hey, this is the tattoo I saw. This is what I want. I was actually thinking about doing an episode on here so we could kick it around as a discussion amongst us all. Calling it like Tattoo Virgin. So if you have a friend who is no tattoos and they came to you for advice, what would you tell them? Not you, them. So maybe that's something we'll talk about another time, but it is something that I did kick around. I think it would be pretty cool to. So Tom is younger, obviously. As a 18 to 30, there is no tattoo history to 99% of people. I know it's just who is big on social media.
Right.
Bang. There you go, dude. You just crushed my soul with that comment, but it's true. Because to be honest with you, dude, it's something that I'm seeing from my perspective of doing this tattoo history thing. And it's crazy because I had a discussion with somebody who is a assistant for somebody that's a big name, old school, legendary tattoo. And she had basically said to me that they're going to tattoo conventions and they're noticing that nobody even wants to come talk to the old head other than tattoo artists because all the young kids want to get tattooed by the young people. And that sucks. But it kind of is what it is, right?
So I read an article years ago, and I think that this is true, and it said one of the things that's wrong with us as a society now is that young people no longer want to mature. Mature people want to be young. Do you know what I mean? Like the accomplishments of maturity, like experience and knowledge and wisdom, those aren't necessarily valued anymore. What's valued is like Kim Kardashian's ass and whatever is shiniest on TikTok in the moment.
Yeah.
God, we sound old.
I know, man. We're starting to sound like the old dudes, but I think that what it is we're just trying to come to grips with the state of how things are. And ironically enough, the last couple bullet points that I had that I took from that article, it said Despite the challenges, seasoned artists remain hopeful. The industry is evolving, but passion and adaptation may be the key to surviving the shift. Um, Tattoos will never die. And, I think that that was one of the other pieces that I took away from, um, the rant. I was going to call it a rant, but I don't know if that's the right way to put it. The reel that Joe Capabianca said. He was like, look, man, um, there's guys out there that are stepping away from this or thinking about stepping away from this. And it's not for a lack of trying. It's not for a lack of trying new things and stuff like that. It's just, I see a lot on when some of the older guys, they might not be big name people or whatever, but they make comments on the on some of those posts, and they're just like, dude, all I want to do is tattoo. I don't want to sit here and post on the internet and play this game and all that. But I think that if you want to do this and you want to survive in this day and age, you're gonna have to have to buy into it, man. I mean, it's just the way it is.
So what I took from Capabianco was what I felt like he was saying was, if an older guy is stepping away from tattooing, don't say it's because you didn't post enough, because you didn't try the new machines, because you didn't try to adapt. Like, because there is that sort of blame thing that happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, so and so just wouldn't do this or wouldn't do that, and maybe he just is aged out.
Yeah, I mean, look, it happens in every industry. I know that even in corporate America, as you get older, maybe you're not as slick to some of the new stuff and whatever, and you start to get like phased out. I would hope that wouldn't happen in the tattoo industry or the craft of tattooing, because as far as I'm concerned, some of those older guys are the most beloved people. But hey, man, Justin, feel better, Rooster. I'm glad you're at least listening, man. I know you're under it, man. So feel better, dude.
Feel brother.
Fat Cracker just said, speaking of Smith Street Tattoo, Steve Bolt is tattooing at Spotlight full time.
Nice.
Yeah, I knew that's where he ended up.
Yeah. I have some old Steve Bolt's flash.
And Sarah just said, I do have friends with no tattoos, but they all want them. Okay.
So I think part of what I'm looking forward to is what I think of as the Harley Davidson effect in tattooing.
Okay.
Like the myth that you were going to buy the Harley and you were going to become Billy Badass, and hot girls in bars were going to throw their panties at you, dudes were going to fear you, like you were just like the bike was the passport to cool, and all these guys bought bikes and then they were still just the same dudes, right? So in tattooing, all these people jumped on the tattoo ship.
You're touching a nerve, dude.
All these people jumped on the tattoo ship.
Yep.
And over the next year or 18 months, 2 years, they're going to leave.
Okay. Well,
and, so I think if, like, you're an older tattooer, I'm just going to keep my head down and keep working while this shop and that shop and this shop and that shop fold as they go on to greener pastures. Because, I'm going to tattoo till I can't.
So, in the realm of us trying to be the guys that are trying to bridge the gap,
To be fair.
and to, not pick a side in this battle as much as we possibly can. And I think that we've done a really good job of trying to stay as neutral as we could. You and I talked about, trying to promote people that are doing tattoos that are stuff that would be in our realm and what we like. That I don't think this dude needs to have any light shined on him because he's got a pretty big following on Instagram. And I knew of the guy, and then Fat Cracker sent it to me because he knew we were trying to do this. And him and I both agreed that the guy's got a very cool old school style with a new school flair to it. And the guy's name is Samuel Briganti.
Oh, yeah, from Italy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's got 430,000
That's
followers,
sick.
dude. He does not need our help at all. If anything, he's going to help us by having this discussion. But his work is fucking ridiculous, dude.
Dude, and he draws it on.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Samuel Brigante is the tattooer. That's the kind of tattoo artist I hate. I hate that guy.
because you're like, dude, you're killing it.
Right, because I have to like struggle with like drawing after drawing after drawing. And then you see videos that this dude does where he's like eating dinner while doing like this perfect geometric rows, not even paying attention.
So like
it's beautiful work.
Got these two hands right here that he did, the Black Panther and the tiger. Phenomenal. I'm gonna have about 9 different pictures of his work. I believe me, you should really go to his Instagram page and check it out. It is freaking amazing.
And he has a book. He has a book called Bold Will Hold.
That's the name of his shop too, I think. So those are really cool. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, his color and saturation is just ridiculous, dude. Now, I think that
I wonder if he mixes his own inks.
Maybe. I think that I actually saw this tattoo come up in a discussion that was getting kicked around about how that's not American traditional because the leaves weren't colored out to the end in spots. I don't know though, man.
Yeah, American traditional is tribal bands. That's Coleman style tattooing.
So I mean, look at that. That eagle is on point, dude.
I mean, is it bold lines, heavy shading, saturated color?
Right.
I mean, that's a Charlie Wagner.
There you go, man.
Charlie Wagner style.
Charlie Wagner style of tattooing.
Man, I can hold a grudge.
Yeah, dude. Nice sailboat and lighthouse, man. Amazing work. I mean, his colors pop. The lines are crispy.
Yeah, man.
Love the lines. I mean, I literally sat there on the dude's Instagram page, and there is 0 bad tattoos. The dude is a monster.
Yeah.
Amazing tiger head right there. I love it.
Touching a nerve.
Yeah. Really cool piece. I like that. I've seen that a bunch of times. I mean, obviously that's a American traditional piece, right?
Let me see.
It's the big eyeball with the clouds and the. I mean,
new school.
Yeah.
New school Coleman style. New school Wagner style. What impresses me most about Brigante is that even though his color pops, his color palette has a muted. It's hard to explain. His color palette has a muted quality that gives it like this veneer that makes it look genuine. Like it's not like a super fluorescent bright green. It's kind of a subdued green, for instance, but it's put in so well and it's placed so well that it still pops.
So let me go back.
Yeah, I fanboy a little bit over Brigante.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
just for the record, I didn't know that's who Buck was going to bring up. That was all genuine.
So let me bigger up the front page again, just so this way, if anybody's watching this right now, and they want to go check him out, man. Samuel Brigante, from Italy, and I was looking to see owner of Bold Will Hold tattoo in Italy. Man, I tell you what, if I could go to Italy, dude, I'd be all over that. I have no interest in going to Italy, by the way. So Tobias, what's up, man? From Almanac Metals, hanging out with us tonight.
Italy, huh?
Sorry if this is changing the subject, but have you guys heard or have you guys seen Rick's art tattoo, Rixer D? No.
You want to send that in, and we'll run that down next week.
A lot of killer traditional. Yeah, Fat Cracker. We won't get into that.
What do you say?
He ripped me off, and I'm not mad at all. So Samuel did the legs, Fat Cracker's legs, that are on season 1 of Miami Ink that Garver did.
Mm-hmm.
and Briganti copied it and did it.
That's just the nature of the beast these days.
Italy is a nice country to visit. I'm sure. You know what, dude? It's just one of those countries, man, that just doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, some of us get to go to Hawaii. Some of us get to go to an Hawaiian restaurant in the mall.
Which leads me to Ohio Laser and Plasma Cutting from Chris Hawkins, our faithful follower. It's a veteran-owned company. If you're looking for any type of cool mugs, bunch of different stuff with the laser etching, Chris's company, Ohio Laser and Plasma Cutting, can help you out. Go check them out. Check out their webpage. Chris hooked us up with some really cool mugs, and we're just trying to promote his business for him.
So the first time I used Chris's mug, right?
Yeah.
You know how when you put coffee in your mug and you wait like a half hour and it cools down to where it's like drinkable?
I don't drink coffee, but okay. Hey.
Not Chris's mugs. Not Chris's mugs. Right?
Still piping hot, burning your
yeah,
mouth?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they were good mugs.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about, Tobias. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Yeah, no problem, Chris, man. We're trying to help our friends out here. Because you know what? We hit 2,500 subscribers this week.
Nice.
Which is a pretty big milestone for the channel. I'm really stoked about it. And, you know, I want to thank you all for being a part of this, man. We can't do this without you guys. So I think, you know, I'm super stoked about hitting the 2,500 subscribers. I'm super grateful for it. But I'm even more grateful for the community that we have here. You know, the group of people that show up every week to hang out with us on our live stream and talk about different subjects. The people that, you know, reach out to me throughout the week, you know, whether they hit me up on Instagram or whatever. The community has turned into something better than I anticipated. And I'm really, really happy about that, man. It's been a really cool experience for me, for you as well. So I'm grateful, super grateful.
Can I talk about my new idea?
Absolutely, man. Let it rip.
Okay, my new idea. So, we've had the Two Fat Guys Facebook for some time, and so what I would like people to start doing.
Okay, ahead.
Is I want you to either direct message the Facebook or put a comment in there of anything really tattoo related.
Your tattoo story.
Your either like why you get tattooed, your tattoo journey, what your favorite tattoos are, artists that you like, shops that you like, weird experiences that you've had. And if we, you know, when we can get to the story that you send in, we'll notify you in advance, and we'll bring your story up on air.
And then this way you could tell your friends or whatever that we're going to be talking about your story, and you could, if you want.
If you want.
Obviously. Some people are weird like that. They wouldn't be. Yeah, Drag, if you want, man, you can email me. I know you don't do Instagram or Facebook, but for the rest of you folks that do, yeah, man, go on to the Two Fat Guys in a Tattoo Shop Facebook page, and you know, man, let us know. Give us your story. We want to talk about it, and I think it's part of us trying to bring you guys kind of behind the scenes and you know, grow the community a little bit more. It gives us maybe a little bit better way of knowing who you are. You know, we get to put some of that behind a name that we just see on the screen. I think it's a really good idea. It was actually Justin brought it up, man. So I'm going to give you props for that.
Because in the end, man, in a sense, they're all stories, right? Like every tattoo, even if the tattoo itself doesn't have a meaning, it's got a story attached to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the first one of the first tattoo I ever got was an electric machine. I got it done in an apartment in New York City by a guy that eventually went on to be like a pretty big deal in New York City tattooing.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a moment in time. And I want you guys, like, I'm really interested because I love tattooed. Sounds corny. I love tattooed people. I want you guys to, like, share your stories with me. And then we can bring them up on air and we can talk about them.
So, Tobias just said, Jesus, shaking my head. A Scottish accent does not jive with voice to text. I'm in my mind. I'm reading it as Justin's talking, and I'm actually envisioning you trying to say it, dude, because you got an accent, but it's not grimy, man. I mean, when I was working, I had to work with some people from Glasgow, man. Some of those ladies were from Northern Ireland, man. They were grimy, dude. Like, I had to really pay attention to what they were saying. Chris Hawkins said, if it's sealed, it stays super hot. The coffee and the mugs.
Yeah.
We got
Chris.
Congratulations from Sarah. Fat Cracker has his vote for the. Remember we were trying to talk about what we wanted to call our Sunday night crew.
Yeah.
He said loyal to the Goyle crew. Because back in the day, the people from like New York, you say instead of saying girl, it'd be Goyle, but it sounds like coil as well, which is really cool. I like that. Got congratulations from Nikki. Stephen Streech said, "My Sunday evening is this, dude." And you are here every Sunday, man, which is awesome, dude. Because we know it's like for you, Drag, it's like super late where you're at. Drag just said, "Party on! Congratulations, Sunday night right here." This is so Chris Hawkins just had this. He said, make it like a questionnaire. Yeah, you know what? We might be able to do that and put it on the site. I would have to show you how to do it, but because Justin actually runs the Two Fat Guys in a Tattoo Shop Facebook page. Stephen Street just said, that's a good idea, Chris. Fat Cracker said, I want the chubby pinup girl tattooed on me.
Yo.
Come get it.
Come get it.
So, speaking of...
we're going to call that one Lots of Luck instead of Lady Luck.
There you go. I just want to let you all know, because Fat Cracker just brought it up. Thank you for reminding me. Not that it was intentional, but I was able to adjust the prices on our store for the channel. And I was able to lower the prices of the Chubby Pinup Girl shirts. So if you're interested in getting one, you can go onto our store right now. They're print on demand, and you can go ahead and grab one. I did lower the prices, and we tried to make it a little bit more reasonable. I was actually telling Fat Cracker, dude, learning how to do Shopify was almost harder for me to figure out than it was to learn how to do editing on DaVinci Resolve. They do not make it easy, man, to figure that stuff out, dude. I had no idea. I could see like a bunch of people clicked on the shirts, and we actually have a mug as well, if you're interested, a coffee mug. They're not one of Chris's, but they're just a regular mug. I didn't realize what the price point was set at. And I'm like, man, we're getting a lot of clicks for people to looking at the shirts, and I'm like, nobody's bought one. Well, yeah, because they were freaking like $40, dude. Like, come on, man. So I had to go in there, and it took me almost 2 days to. So I got it all squared away. But shirts are on sale right now on our store if you're interested in buying a shirt. And we have all sizes all the way up to 4X. So unfortunately, Fat Cracker has to get my shirts I have to do a special order for him because the print on demand doesn't do above a 4. So,
and they just don't make 4X shirts as big as they used to. Have you noticed that?
No, but you know what, dude? On the 4Xs that I got of the pinup girl, it actually fit me loose. So I thought for sure it was going to be big enough for Cracker, and he said, nah, it wasn't. So
as far as the tattoo story thing, too, is what I would really like you guys to do, if you can, tell your friends. Like, I would be really interested in getting as many people in here with their stories as possible. And, yeah, we'll put something up with some suggestions. Tell your friends, kids.
Yeah, man. I think it would be really cool. And then, man, I don't know. I really want to do the call-in thing, but I'm afraid we're going to have too many dickheads. and it's just going to turn into a shit show, man. And I'm going to have to, you know, have another moderator just to deal with the phone call people. I don't know if I wanted to go through all that, man.
Did you know?
Fat Cracker said, hence fat and Fat Cracker.
Did you know about the? So during the pandemic on the Zoom platform, 12-step recovery moved to the Zoom platform.
Yeah.
And there was a thing that was going on for a while.
I was doing it, actually.
Where people were, it would basically be like a Zoom meeting, Zoom call, and then suddenly it would be taken over by like
jerks,
graphic porn, or like
yep,
like all.
They got the point. No more examples, please.
Yeah, where people would just, it was somehow they were able to invade the rooms and like
because
take over the feeds.
So what was happening with that was, because I was actually doing that. And matter of fact,
you were doing that. You were taking over feeds like that.
No, I was chairing a Tuesday night meeting for one of the Zooms, AA meetings. And what happens with that is if you posted that there was a bunch of Facebook groups that popped up that were like 12-step, Zoom, whatever. So you would post the username and password in order to get in. So obviously anybody that saw that could get in. So they had all the information. And then, the regular crew of people that were there to do NA or AA because they couldn't go to meetings because of COVID were there doing their thing, and then some jerk off would pop in and be like screaming in the mic, or you know what I mean? Like, so you had to have somebody, instead of them paying attention to being in the meeting and doing what they're supposed to do for whatever AA, NA, they had to sit there and be a moderator. So this way they had to kick people out that were doing that. We didn't really have that too much. What we had to deal with, sorry, dude, I didn't mean to touch your leg. What we had to, that used to drive me nuts, was people that didn't know how to mute their microphone. And so they would raise their hand or whatever and say their piece. And instead of muting their mic and going back to listening, they would leave their mic unmuted and then turn around and scream at their kid, or you know what I mean? Or be coughing and farting, and you're like, yo, dude, mute your mic. You know what I mean? So if you're the moderator, you could actually do that though. You could mute somebody.
So I went to a meeting on Zoom in Hawaii one time, and meetings are made up of people, so there's all kinds of different attitudes, and there's fucked upness that goes on. I'm not gonna lie. This one person in the meeting was talking about how they couldn't get quality hay for their horses because of COVID, and how stressed out. I mean, they could get hay, they just couldn't get the kind of hay they wanted. Dude, and I was like, if I could reach through the computer and fucking throttle you, I would throttle. You can't get hay for your horses?
Yeah.
I'm using the same toilet paper.
We used to we had a guy that was from Australia that used to come in our meetings all the time, and he was cool as hell. And his big thing was he actually so he was older, probably 65, 70-ish. Prior to COVID though, he went to every world meeting. So the dude traveled all over the world going to different meetings. Which was really cool. And he wound up being a really cool older guy. But, it just, I don't know, man. It wasn't the same. It just, it filled a void. Anyway, you know what, man? We had a blast hanging out with you all tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the topic. I feel like it went really well. I thought we stayed really neutral, which is cool. Because Justin and I are really trying to bridge the gap between the younger group and the older guys, if we can. I mean, I don't know if it's fixable, but we're going to try. And we're going to continue to bring up topics that are going to try to bridge that gap. And
for Tom, right?
Yeah, man.
The best advice I was ever given when I was at a low point with tattooing was keep tattooing, keep getting tattooed, keep painting. If eventually you get a machine in your hand, keep tattooing. If you want a tattoo. Whether you're going to get paid or not, whether,
Yeah, man.
If you love it, you love it.
Hang in there, Tom. And like you said, man,
Tom does really good art.
Just keep drawing and painting, man. I want to thank you all for hanging out with us tonight, and have a safe and happy week.
Have a safe and happy week.
And we'll catch you all next week.